Okay, so we are starting our first module, which is Introduction to IP Address in our network security class. So this is our module 1. In this we'll come to know about IP addressing. Okay, like because whenever we want to work with networking or any kind of network connectivity, communication, so IP plays a very big role. Without IP address you cannot communicate because it's the address of the device. Okay, and these are the topics what we are going to cover in this session. Okay, now first of all, if we are going to know about IP addressing, so like what is IP address? So IP stands for Internet Protocol Address. Okay, and this IP address what we are talking, it's a unique identification number which is associated with host or computer in the network. Means any computer, whatever you are using, computer or mobile or maybe laptop, okay, or maybe desktop, printer, any device whatever you are using as a end device in the network, okay, those are known as host, node or computer. Okay, so whenever you want to identify the computer in the network, so you need IP address. Okay, so when connected to the network, the IP address allow the computers to send and receive the information or data, you can say. So without IP address, you cannot communicate and you cannot send data in the network because your IP address is the address in the network. Okay. Now, IP address is also known as logical address of the computer, and it is given to each and every layer 3 device. Means IP address you can assign only to the layer 3 devices, not to the layer 2 devices. Okay. Okay, so as I told you that IP address you will find only in the layer 3 device, not in layer 2 devices. You cannot configure IP address in like switches, alright, or switch interface. You can only configure IP address to layer 3 devices. Okay, and we'll come to know which devices comes under layer 3, layer 2, like that. Okay. Now, IP address or Internet Protocol address is a unique identification number. I have told you that, and that number is given to each and every single computer on the internet. Means network or internet, you can say. And why we are talking about that IP address should be unique, like your car license plate. Okay, so car license plate you will find always unique. Okay, your identification number, your passport numbers, those are unique in the world. Okay, so your IP address must be unique in the network or in the internet for communication. If it is not unique, means if you are using like same address in the network, so it will conflict and that both computer will never communicate. Okay. So simply here we have to understand that yes, IP address is some kind of address, numerical address, which is used for computer network for communication, and that IP address must be unique. Simple, right? Now, what is computer address? So whenever we are talking about that address must be unique in the computer. So computer addresses are, like it's a piece of identification stored in the computer for communication or like for unique identification in the network, right? Now, and this computer address is also known as, like it will be the location of data. Like maybe I want something from one server, maybe that server is in cloud or somewhere, so I must know the address of that server to get my data. Okay, so it's you can say that it is the location of your data. Okay, so address is the location, and address is what? Address is your IP address. Okay, Now I already told you node is also known as end device. Node, you can say node is the networking device. Node can be your computer, node can be your router, node can be your switch. Okay. Now, so here we have three types of computer address. One we have like when sometime we see as a host name. Okay, sometime we that is computer name. Second is your logical address, which is your known as IP address. Physical address, which is known as your MAC address. So how we can find out? So if you open your command prompt, so first of all, if you'll type here host name, you'll come to know what is your computer name. So see, this is my computer name, and if I'm typing here IP config, so here right now in my system I have a lot of interface like, okay, so I'm just showing you my Wi-Fi adapter IP address. So you can see here this is my logical IP address. Okay, so first the command what we have used here, this is for computer name. So every computer will have name. Okay, and this command IP config command will give you the information for the logical address, the IPv4 address information, okay, as well as IPv6 information as well. Okay, after that, if you type like this command, I want to know the MAC address also. So if you type here ipconfig space forward slash all, you will get the MAC address also of the devices and other details also. Like if I'll type this command ipconfig all, so you will get the detailed information of this Wi-Fi LAN card. Okay, this is the MAC address of that device or that uh, interface, you can say. Okay. So MAC address is different, IP address is different, you can say logical address is different, and your host name is different, but they all work together. You will never find any interface without IP logical address, and you will never find any LAN card without physical address. There is one other command also to get only MAC address information. So you can type here get MAC, get get MAC, get MAC is like this. So if you type this command get MAC, you will get the information that, oh yes, you have like 3 LAN card, 4 LAN card in your system, and this is the physical address of that interface. It takes some time because it fetch the information. Okay, see. So right now in my system, these are some logical LAN cards also. So you will get the information. Okay, MAC address information. Okay. Now, whenever we try to configure IP address, we always see this TCP IP. Okay. So if I'm coming here, okay. So if you type this like, so if I'm coming here to configure IP address, so if I'm coming here, for example, just come here, right click, go to properties, and if I'm coming here, so to Internet Protocol version 4, so you can see here TCP slash IPv4. Okay,
Okay.
so whenever you want to assign IP address, you'll see TCP slash IPv4 or TCP slash IP. So, but if you'll learn some IP protocol, so you will see that TCP is a separate protocol and IP is a separate protocol. But when we configure IP address, so we configure together. So IP is the work of IP is different, and the work of TCP is different. Okay, so you can see here
Okay.
TCP IP. What is the use of TCP IP? TCP is a transmission control protocol, and IP is Internet Protocol. It's a standard protocol. Standard means you can find this technology, this TCP/IP in any computer, in any server, in any vendor. It's not like Cisco and Microsoft. You can find this. It's open standard. And
Okay.
this TCP/IP protocol is used between computer and network devices for communication. Now, but what is the use of TCP? Okay, so TCP is known as transmission control protocol. Understand this one. Suppose you are here, right, and maybe you want to go to some place. Okay, so you cannot walk, so you need what? You need transportation. Okay, so you will send, maybe not you, or maybe you want to send some packet. Okay, some data, so you need some transportation. Okay, so TCP works as a transportation medium. Like, TCP is used to transport the data. Okay, now,
Yeah.
so TCP is like a car, but TCP don't know address. So who will tell that? Okay, IP will say that, okay, no problem, you carry the data, but I will locate you. Okay,
Okay.
so IP will say that, okay, no problem, you take data from this computer and come with me, I will tell you where is source and where is destination. So IP is just used to address, but IP cannot carry the data, TCP carry the data. Okay,
Okay.
now, computer number address. I told you that whenever we saw here something like CMD, we saw here IP config. So we saw some this, so the address what we are receiving. So these are some numerical numbers, right? So we'll
Yeah.
come to know what is this. So I computer number address. So there are two type of number address in computer network. Okay,
Yeah.
one
Okay.
is IP
The
address
IP
and
address,
second one is MAC address. So
MAC
IP
address.
address is of 32-bit numerical address, 32-bit because computer works with bits. Okay, that's why we talk
Yeah.
about bits like that. Okay, now,
Okay.
IP address what we are talking here. Okay, like, it has some version. Okay, version 4, version 6. So right now version 4 we are using, version 4 and version 6 also. So you can see
Yeah.
here IP address is of 32-bit. Which IP address? IPv4. IP version 4 is of 32-bit numerical address. That's why it is saying numerical address. Okay, numerical means
Mm.
in the entire address you will never find other number. You will find only number. Okay, and
Number.
hexadecimal means it is the combination of numerical number plus alphabets also, right?
Okay.
Yes. Now, so this IP address, it's a unique logical computer address. Logical means you can change anytime whenever you want. Physical address means you cannot change.
You cannot change.
Yes. Even there are some options also to change, but whenever you will restart your computer, you will see that MAC address will come back again. Some softwares are there to change, you can change, but once your system will restart, your original MAC address will come back.
We come back.
Okay, now understand, this is very important. Here it is saying IP address, right? IP address is of 32-bit numerical address, right? Now, but
Okay.
numerical address can be 1 also, 0 also, 1 also, 100 also. This is also numerical. 1000 also, this is also numerical number, right? 500 also, this
Yeah.
is also numerical number, right? So which number we are using in our IP addressing? So we can see it's clearly written here. Okay, only
Yeah.
0 to 255 numerical numbers are allowed to be used in IP addressing.
Address.
Okay,
Okay.
0 to 255 means if I will write some address like this, like 256, so it will say you that it will give you message that it's a wrong address. So let's verify it. So if we are coming here, TCP IPv4. Maybe I'm writing some wrong address like 2 256. See, 256 is not a valid entry. Okay, so it's not a valid entry. So please specify a value between 1 to 223. We'll see this one why we are getting this answer, this error. Sorry. So whenever you see this IPv6, so you will never find any IP address beyond 0 to 255. You will only find between this. Now when we talk about hexadecimal, so this hexadecimal number what we are talking, it's a MAC address. So if you check this one, ipconfig space / all. So this number what we are getting here, this number, okay. So this is physical address. You can see here it's a physical address, and it is the combination of numerical number plus hexadecimal. Okay, and hexadecimal is what? Collection of decimal, okay, and alphabet.
Number
But alphabet
and
decimal will, yeah,
alphabetic.
decimal will be used only from 0 to 9, okay, and alphabet will be used from A to F. It's not like after F you can find it. That is
Yeah,
hexadecimal. Okay,
yeah.
but for communication IP address is used, where you can change, where you can configure the IP address. MAC address is constant, you cannot change it. It is used for device identification. Okay, now IPv4 addressing overview. Now how IPv4 address look like? So you can see here IPv4 address look like this. These are the examples. Is it okay? So whenever
Yes,
you
it's
see
okay.
this, yeah, it look like this. And it is in decimal number. I have already told you from 0 to 55. Between that you can get it. So see here. Here I am getting 253 something. So it's okay, because I told you that the limitation is 0 to 255. You can find it, okay, anywhere, but you cannot
Uh,
find 256, 300 like that.
okay.
Now there is 32-bit address, means in IPv4 you will find 32-bit address, means total address. Okay, so total address there will be 4.2 billion address. But now if you will talk about total population of this world, so total population of this world is uh, approx 7.8 or 7.6. Okay,
Okay.
now but the IP address is 4.2, and every people right now they use at least 2 or 3 device like mobile, laptop, iPad, phone, sorry, your TV, right? And you all are using IP address. So total we have 4.2 billion and people is 7.6, and each people is using mobile, and so the IP address is not enough to assign 7.6 billion people, right? That's why
Yeah.
IPv6 came, just because of the shortage of IPv4. Now IPv4 address consists of 4 octet, or you can say it's a combination of or collection of 4 octet. 4 octet means you can see here, this is my first octet, this is my second octet, third octet, and fourth octet. Even you can verify from this one also. See, first octet, second octet, third, and fourth. You'll verify here also. See, first octet, second octet, third octet, fourth octet. Now these all octets are separated by dot. You can see here everywhere you will find dot. Separation is dot. Okay, see, 192 dot 168 dot 1
Dot.
dot. So everywhere you will find dot here. See, dot
Mm.
dot dot is the separation between octets. Okay,
Okay.
now it, and we already know that the IP address helps to identify the computer or a device on a network. These 32-bit are divided into 4 octets. Okay, so each octet will have 8 bit, right? If you have 32 bits and that 32 bit is divided into 4 octets, so of course you have 8 bit per octet. Means 8 bit is the limitation of the single octet, and the range of single octet is 200, I mean 0 to 255. Means in a single box you can assign 0 or you can assign any number between 0 to 255. Okay, but not
Okay.
beyond that.
Yeah.
IPv4 basics. IP address are used to identify the system in the network. The networking devices will have the unique IP address for communication. IP address have two versions. You can say IPv4 and IPv6. Okay, IPv4 is of 32-bit unique address. 32-bit unique address means you you will never find the repetition of the address when we are talking about the entire IPv4 address. All is unique.
Mm.
IPv4 use some numerical number which is from 0 to 255 only. IPv4 address is divided into two parts: network part and host part. This is important. Now whenever we talk about some IP address, like here, we have multiple IP addresses. We have multiple IP, right?
Okay.
But IP address has some kind of segment: network segment and host segment. Okay, so we'll come to know this one when we'll talk about classification of IP address. So here we have
Mm.
network portion and host portion, but which one is the host portion and which one is the network portion, and why we have to take care about this one? I'm just giving you example. Suppose computer A wants to communicate to computer B, right? So computer A will have some IP address, computer B will also have some IP address. Now, so whenever computer A wants to communicate to B, computer A and B, both computer network address must be same, must be equal, but host address must be different. Okay, this should be equal and this should be different. Host address should be different, but network address must be equal for communication. This is very much
Yeah.
important.
Okay.
Now, IPv4 have 4 octet and each octet will have 8 bits. This we know already. IPv4 version we already know that yes, it have IP, like it has two version right now, IPv4 and IP basic. IPv4 example is like this, it look like this, and IPv6 example is like this. Okay, simple. There are some differences here, so let's discuss. See, IPv4 will have 32 bit, IPv6 will have 128 bit. Means it's a larger. IPv4 will have 4 octet, IPv6 will have 8 octet. You can count here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Now IPv4 use dot for IP separation and IPv6 use double colon for IP separation. Okay.
Sorry, sir, my screen is disconnected. I don't see anything.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay. So these are some basic differences between IPv4 and IPv6. See, IPv4 use decimal numbers from 0 to 9, okay,
Okay.
decimal number, okay, and this IPv6 use decimal number from 0 to 9 and A to F, sorry, decimal I am saying, hexadecimal number, okay.
Okay.
So these are some differences right now, okay. Here also it has been addressed that IPv4 is 32-bit address. It has been developed in 1981. IPv6 has developed in 1999, but still we are using IPv4. And some countries, even some ISPs, you can say they started using IPv6. Okay,
Mm.
and IPv6 you will find it's a huge number. Okay, now IPv4 address classes and its range. This is known as classification. Means the number what we have learned here from 0 to 255. This number has now they have divided into 5 classes. Class A, Class B, Class C, D and E. And according to why they have separated it, because see, the organizations in the world, they are not equal, right? Some organization is large, some organization is small, right? Even we have a small car, big car, medium size car, Airbus. So depending on your packet, depending on the data, right? Or depending on the network size, or depending on the requirement, we have transportation mechanism. So same here, depending on the network area, depending on the organization, they said, okay, let's divide this 0 to 255 addresses into different working sector. Okay, so they said, okay, let's divide this all IP addresses into 5 classes. Okay, class A, B, C, D, and E. And when they have divided it, they have divided this 0 to 55 addresses also. So now from 1 to 126, they have kept this address in class A. From 128 to 191, this address they have kept in class B. 192 to 223 they have used for class C,
See.
and 224 to 239 they have used for class D, and 240 to 255 they have used for class E. Okay, but that's I see I have separated it. Okay, but for network communication we can only use class A, B and C. So
Okay.
can you see here what is the last address of class C? It is 223, right?
223.
Okay, let me show you. So if I'm coming here and I'm writing some address here, for example, like 250. Okay, see, it's saying that the valid entry is from 1 to 223.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm.
why? Because from 1 to 223 is allowed. From 1 to 223 is allowed. Means class A, B, and C is allowed for communication. D and E is used for separate
Okay.
communication. So we'll come to know when we will start our routing. I'll show you that class D address is a multicast address, and some protocols use this multicast address.
Okay.
And class E is used for experimental use. Means no one is using this class E address. Okay, it's reserved by ANA, and I don't know what ANA is doing with this now. But here, always keep in mind that IP address is of 32-bit total IP address, and numerical 0 to 255. So numerical they have divided, right?
Right.
So they have also divided this bit also. When the numerical is divided into 5 classes, so this bit is also divided into 5 classes. So how many bit they have given to class A, and how many bit they have given to class B and C, like that. Okay. Now, so
Okay.
I told you IP address is of 32-bit. I'm not saying total IP address. It's the IP address is of 32 bit. So class A address, like when we are talking about class A. So class A, so for they have given 8 bit to class A. That's why I have written here 8 bit. Now 16 bit they have given to class B,
Class B,
and 24 bit they have given to class C.
C,
Yes, and 32 bit they have given for class D. 32. Now there is no any bit extra, that's why we cannot use class E, but yes, we are using class D, okay, but not default. Okay, the class
uh,
D is used for multicasting purpose, and some device, some protocol, they use this IP address. But we in our
okay,
computer, in our end devices, we can only use class A to C.
okay.
Now, again one question will come here, that yes, I understood that the IP address is divided into 5 classes. I understood this one. Yes, they have divided that 0 to 255 into 5 sections. This also I understood. The bit they have divided also 8 bit, 16 bit, 24 bit, 32. Okay, but what is this? So
Okay.
you already know that every IP address will have some subnet mask, right? Now,
Yeah.
what is the use of this subnet mask? So this mask, or this subnet mask, will identify that yes, how many hosts will be there in a single network. Maybe suppose I belong to class A, okay, but I can
Yeah.
communicate to how many people. So this you will come to know on the behalf of default subnet mask. So this default subnet mask will let you know that yes, you can communicate to so and so people in so and so IP addresses, so and so numbers. Now, but here you can see that 255,000 something like that, 255,255,000. Maybe you are not understanding this right now, but I'll explain you in the next. Okay. Now,
I understand it.
so here you can see 255. I do you know why it is 255,000 or 255,255,000 something like that? Do you know about this?
Yes, because on the class C, they
Yes,
use uh, three octet for the
yes,
network
very good.
and the one octet for the host.
Yes, but if someone will ask some question with you that okay, why it is 255? Why not 256? Why not 300? And from where 255 came?
There I haven't an idea.
Yes. Okay, no problem. Now see. So IP address, class and range. Yes, class A, B, C, D, E. The range start from this. Okay, 1000 to
Yeah.
126. So this is the entire range. They're talking about the entire range of class A, entire range of class B,
Okay. Yeah.
class C. Default subnet mask will come to know. Class D
Okay.
is used for it's reserved for multicasting purpose. Okay,
Yeah.
and E is still experimental use. Now you can see here one thing I have written here. Note class A address 127 is missing here. You can see here 1 to 126, and here it is starting from 128. Where is 126? So sorry, 127. So 127 address, okay, cannot be
Yeah.
used, and it is reserved for loop back testing. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
loop back
The
interface.
network card on the devices.
Yes, yes. Each and every devices you will find this 127 is reserved for loop back testing. Okay.
Yeah.
Now explain this 255. Right. From where we got 255. Okay. Now in class A, how many bits are there?
Um,
8 bit is on
8
bit.
bit. 8.
Yes. So the bit what we are talking, it's on bit, right? See,
Yeah.
total IP address, whether it is class A, class B, or class C. Okay. So
Yeah.
total IP address capacity is 32 bit, but here you can see that capacity is 32 bit, but I am only using 8 bit as on and other bits are off. Okay,
Okay.
now but my capacity is 32, so 8 bit is on, so how many bit is off? Total capacity is 32. In that 32, 8 bit is on, so how many off bit is remaining?
3. In class A.
No, you're not understanding. I'm saying total is 32 bit.
Yeah.
Okay, and in that 32 bit, 8 bit is on. Here also you can see 8 bit has been given to class A. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's why 8
Yeah.
bit is given, that's why it is 255. Other is off. So how many bit is off? 24 bit is off, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
Yes. Okay, so here I am explaining you, explain 8 bit equal to 255. How? See, class A is like this, right? Normally,
Yeah. In binary is like
yeah, it,
this.
it is in bits. So first octet, we have 4 octet, right? Yes. So
Right.
in the first
Yeah.
octet, you have 8 bit on, other octet, you have 8 bit off. Means 8 bit on and 24 bit off.
Oh.
Okay. Class B.
Yeah.
Class B will have 16 bit on and 16 bit off,
Yeah.
and class C has 24 bit on and 8 bit off.
Okay.
Okay, now always keep in mind, just a simple. Suppose you are class A, so maybe you have 4 octet. This is your 4 building.
Yeah.
Okay, each building have 8 rooms. Okay, or 8 flat you can say. Okay,
Yeah.
now
Okay.
for your own use, you are using 8 rooms. So how many room is remaining?
3.
No, 3 building, 24 rooms, right?
Ah. Yeah.
24,
Yeah. Yeah.
24 flats you can
Okay.
say. Now, so
Okay.
you can accommodate lots of guests, right?
Right.
Okay, so class A is used for large organization, right?
Right.
Okay, class B 8 bit, 8 bit, 16. So class B you are using this 2 building for your own and 2
Yeah.
building, yeah, for your guest, means 8 bit is 16 room. So this is used for medium organization, middle level
Mhm.
organization. Class
Okay.
C is using this for their own use, and this one for guest. So this is used for a small organization. Okay,
Okay.
okay, so our concern is that we want to know, we have to know that, okay, why 8 bit equal to 255. Okay, now, so first of all, this 8 bit we are writing in bits. Okay, so this all 8 bit is in bits. Okay, 1 bit, 2
Okay.
bit, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bit, right? Okay,
Right.
so when we talk about bits, so bits value in binary is 0 1 1 0 1 1 0 0, like that, right?
Okay.
Okay, so the base is 2. Okay, now decimal. Okay, decimal is what? 0 to 9, right?
Right.
Yes. So The base of decimal is what? It's 10. So same here, base of binary is 2. So the
Is
number what you have written, you have written in bits. That's why base is 2. So you
2.
write that, okay, base is 2 like this. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
but okay, but these all bits, if I will tell you to count, okay.
Mm.
So can you count these bits? How many bits is there? The red one, this one. How many bits is there? Count all.
The for the first bit.
Yes, all bit, all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bit there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But now, uh, these bits is in computer, so it is in digital, right? Not in
Yeah.
analog. So digital
Yeah.
counting always start from
0.
0. See here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
Actually, it is 7, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
0 is also bit.
Okay.
Yes.
Because 0 is a possibility.
Yeah, 0 is also bit. Okay. But here we are telling you to count. So when computer count any number, so it always start counting from 0.
Yeah.
So see, we as a human, we count from 1, 2, 3, 4. But computer counts from 0. So when computer is counting this bit, so for computer it is 8 bit, but computer is counting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like that, right?
Right.
Okay. Now
Okay.
2 to the power 7. 2 to the power 7 is
Sorry.
2 to the power 7. It will be how much?
Oh,
128.
it's
Let me show you. See, 2 to the power 7. Mm, 2 to the power 7. Maybe standard scientific is this one. Why? 2 to the power 7 equal to 128. Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
Now, okay. So you can see here, yes, 2 to the power 7 is 128. 2 to the power 6 is 64, plus like this,
64.
yes. 2 to the power 5 is 32. 2 to the power 4
32.
is 16. 2 to the power
16.
3 is 8,
30.
like that. So if you count all, 2 to the power 0 is always 1. If you want to verify, 2
Yes.
to the power 0 is always
Power
1.
0.
Yes, see here.
Yes. Yes.
2 to the power 0 equal to 1, right?
1.
Yes. So if you count all these numbers, right, if you calculate, all is 255, right? Okay. That's why in class A, in this bit, how many bit it have? It has 8 bit, right? So when
8
it
bit.
has 8 bit in bits, so when it calculate in decimal, it is 255 like this. So that's why if you
Yeah.
see here, that's why it is 25500, right? Same like
Right.
class B. Class B have how many bits it has?
Class B.
Yes,
16.
16. So 8
Yeah.
bit. 8 bit equal to,
255.
yeah, and second 8 bit equal to
255.
255, and other is 00 because no bit
0.
is remaining, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Class C have how many bits? 24. That's why see 8 bit, 8 bit, 8 bit, remaining is 0. Done?
Okay.
Okay. Now Okay, my question will come that here we came to know that 8 bit equal to, yes my friend, 8 bit equal to, 8 bit equal to 255, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, but if I have 3 bit only,
3 bits.
yeah, I now we know that 8 bit equal to 255, right?
Okay.
But if I have 3 bit only, then
Then it's 7 for
7.
the beginning. For the
Okay,
beginning.
let's see. See, when we count bits, right?
Yeah.
When we count any number, okay, can you count this number?
100.
100. So means you are counting from this side, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
when we
Okay.
count any bit, we count from this side.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. So you,
It's 128 plus 64 plus 32.
yes, very good. See, always keep in mind that this octet, okay, this is octet, right?
Yeah.
So this octet capacity is 8 bits, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in this 8 bit can be on or 8 bit can be off, right?
You're right.
Yes. But here I said in this octet only 3 bit is on, not 8 bit. 3 bit.
Okay.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
why you have to count only this. Other is off, no problem.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So now let's come to know. 1 bit. Okay. If I have 1 bit on, that then
Okay.
what will be in decimal? Tell me.
128.
Very good. Okay. 2 bit?
64.
No. Is you forget this plus.
Ah, two bit.
No, yes. When it is 2
Uh,
bit means this and this, right?
192.
Very good. Okay, now when we have 3 bit,
When you have 3 bits, it's 224.
use your calculator, no problem.
224.
Okay, 4 bit,
4 bits. Let me see. 4 bits. Is 240.
very good. And fifth, 5 bit,
Is sorry,
240 plus 8. How much?
it's 248.
Yes. Okay, 6 bit,
6 bits is two 252.
very good. 7 bit,
7 bits is 254.
very good. And 8 bit you already know, right?
Okay.
Okay. Now, but you will have confusion here that this this what we are talking, it's a default, right? Whenever
Yeah.
you use class A IP address, it is default, right?
Right.
Yes. But if I want to assign any IP address to my computer, right?
Right.
And by default class A have 8 bit, but I want to give him 10 bit. Okay. So
Yeah.
default is 8, but I want to give him as a 10 bit. So see how you can give.
For the subnet mask.
Yes, subnet mask. By default, maybe if I want to use, see this is manual configuration. Okay. Default is if I'm
Yeah.
using class A address. So see by default it is 255, right?
Yeah. Right.
But here you can see here I have option to modify. See, right? Okay.
Right.
So if I have 10 bit in class A, okay,
Okay.
okay. So 8 bit equal to,
There it can be
8 bit equal to 255.
two, um, 240,
No, no, 8
245.
bit, 8 bit I'm saying. Okay, no problem. You are getting confused. No problem. See, always keep in mind,
Yeah.
you have, let me make clear to you. See, class A, B, or C, any IP address, no problem, any class. All
Okay.
class have the capacity to store
38
32-bit,
bytes.
yes,
Okay.
IP. All class have the capacity to store 32-bit. But by
Yeah.
default, they have given class A 8-bit, class B 16, and class C 24, right?
Right.
Okay. So 8-bit equal to 255.
255. Okay.
Yes. So you can see here that class A, when I wrote class A IP, see 10.10.10.10, and when I came to this subnet mask, you just click here, see automatically 255 came, means it is the default IP address, right? Default
Right.
subnet mask. Okay. But
Okay.
I want to change, I want to, instead of 8 bit, I want to give him 10 bit, right? So
Right.
8 bit is already there. So how many extra you want to add? 2.
Okay. Two,
See, 8 is already
two,
there and you want to make 10. So how much you will give him?
2,
2 bit extra, right?
4. Yeah.
Yes. So what is the value of 2 bit?
The value of
2 bit in
2 bit
decimal,
in decimal is 192.
192. So like this you can modify the subnet mask also.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So here we came to know that yes, if I have 1 bit, 2 bit, 3 bit, so I know what will be in decimal, right?
Right.
And always keep in mind this chart. Always remember this chart, and you know how we made this chart, right? We made this chart with
Right.
this value. We came with
Okay.
this, then we put some base value, then we calculated, and we got this chart. And this is the chart.
Okay.
With this chart you can do entire your IP classification and calculation.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Now IPv4 class, address class, and subnet mask. Now when we talk about here IPv4 address, total address is 0 to 255. In that, class A is using from 1 to 126, and 8 bit is given to class A, right? And
Right.
when 8 bit is given to class A, so class A will have decimal 25500 something like this. So this is called subnet mask, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, so whenever you see something like 255, okay,
Okay.
so by default, I told you in the beginning of the class that IP address is divided into two sections, network section and host section.
Section.
Yes. So whenever you see 255, that is known as network section, and 00 is always host.
Okay.
Okay. You will come
Okay.
to know why network is there. Okay. Now
Okay.
when we have two computer and both computer wants to communicate, so network part must be same and
Okay.
host part must be different for communication.
Communication.
Yes. Okay. So here in class A we have one network, three host. Class B we have two network part. Why? Because we have 255, two box is busy, that's why two network, and two box is free, means that's why two host. Means simply always keep in mind in class A, one I'm utilizing one building, I'm utilizing for my own, and three is free for my guest host. Okay.
Okay.
Class B,
Okay.
2 building I'm using for my own, means 2 octet I'm using for my own use, and 2 is free for my guest.
Yeah.
2 box. And each box is the combination of 8 bit, means 16 bit is free. Here 24 bit is free. And here how many bit is free?
8.
8 bit free. Very good. 3 is utilized by class C, 1 is only free. That's why here the class C is always used for a small organization, medium organization, large organization. Okay.
Okay.
Now when we talk about class A, class B, class C, this all address you will find some address like unicast address. Unicast address means each computer will have different IP address. Means in a network, if I want to communicate to you personally, I can communicate. Like see, if I
Yeah.
want to call you, right? So how many
Yeah.
people will listen our communication? Only me and you, right?
Only me and you.
Yes. So that is unicast communication,
Okay.
right? Now
Right.
multicast communication is not possible in this class A, B and C. Multicast communication means like I will say that okay, I want to communicate to 10 people.
Okay.
Okay. Now see, suppose we have WhatsApp group of 4 people, right? And
Yeah.
if I want to make video call to all 4 people, so we will
Mm.
communicate to all 4 people, not only with 2 people, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So only unicast means either I can call single people, or I should call
Should
everyone. Like if we have a
everyone.
WhatsApp group, okay, so i should
Yeah.
i should maybe I should communicate to single people, or I should communicate to everyone. There is no
Okay.
multicast option in IP address, IPv4.
Yeah.
So whenever you want multicast communication means I want to only communicate to a single part of a group people, not with
People.
everyone, right? So
Yeah.
that comes under class D, which is multicast. We'll see that one. But always keep in
Okay.
mind, unicast and broadcast communication is only possible in class A, B, and C.
Okay.
Okay, so in class A, how many network is there? One network, three host.
One network.
Class B, two network, two host.
Two network.
Class C,
Yeah.
three network, one host.
Three network. One host.
And always keep in mind, whenever any computer wants to communicate in the network, right? So
Yeah.
network part must be same and host part must be different. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Now identify IP address class. So as we have learned about IP address, right? So now you have to identify that okay, the IP address what you have given here, or what I have written here. Can you identify that this IP belongs to which class?
The first one is the class A.
Okay, very good.
The second class A. The third class
Second one, you said this second one is belongs to which class?
class A.
For sure.
Sorry, B. B.
So okay, what is the confusion here?
Sorry.
No, I'm asking what is the confusion here? You said class A class.
Yeah, 190
Yes. See,
191.
let
I
me tell you.
forget.
If
Yeah,
whenever I want to identify the class, I will see IP address will have 4 octet, right?
yeah.
So I will only check my first octet to verify the class. That's it.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Number 3,
Class C,
number 4.
class A,
Okay. Number 5.
class C,
Okay. Number 6.
uh, class B.
Very good. Number 7.
Number 7, class B.
Okay, very good. Okay. Now IP address class use. How we can use the classes. Okay. I already told you that class A, B, C. Okay, we are using only class A and B and C. Class A is
Yeah.
used for large organization, B is used for medium organization, and
Medium
C is
network,
used for a small organization.
a small
Yeah,
network.
this is
Yeah.
multicast use. We can see this one. It is experimental still.
Yeah.
And whenever we talk about IP address classification, this chart is very much important. This one.
Okay.
So this is 8-bit calculation. Why 8-bit calculation? Because IP address is the combination of 8, 4 octet, but each octet will have 8-bit. So what value will be there in the octet number 1, octet number 2? So these all are decided by these numbers. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Now network part and host part. So I already told you that in class A, how many network part is there and how many host part?
That's
Yeah, in class A, how many network part and how many host part?
one network part and three host part.
Okay. Class B.
Two network and two host.
Okay. Class C.
Class three network and one host.
Okay, very good. Class A will have 8-bit, class B 16-bit, and class C 24-bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Now question will come that, okay, we say that it is a one network part, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, but when we talk about IP addressing, okay, network, but inside this class A, how many networks will be there? I'm talking about this is the network part, but okay, it's a single network part, okay, 3 host part, no problem. But when we talk about class A address, so inside class A address, how many network will be there and how many IP address I can use in a single network? We say
Network.
that okay, it is used for large organization, but what is the capacity of that network? Means like how many network will be there, how many users can be attached in that network, or how many hosts will be there in that network, right? Like suppose I am saying that Yasin building is very big, so we can accommodate many users, okay, many people.
Mm.
But how many people? There should be some number, right?
Yes.
Yes. So with this classification we can identify. Okay. So for identifying, we for this, okay, we have to work this in a separate session. Okay, in a separate session we'll work and we'll see that how to identify in our next class. Okay.